be such this week, but we'll see. If it doesn't, maybe I'll just cut it off and see if I can't save some weight next time.
Well, that's E.O. Barron. We're going to see him a lot in the 114. Then we've got Simon Hughes over here, who gave us a great show yesterday. You'll remember that. Also with Barron Racing. And let me explain this Formula V platform. So you can see the whole front end here is from a Volkswagen Beetle. Back in '63, somebody had the great idea to take a bunch of the old junkyard Volkswagen Beetles and make a race platform out of it. So it's the front and rear suspension of a Volkswagen Beetle, air-cooled Volkswagen Beetle engine that were, highly prevalent back then in the junkyards. And then everybody in their garages made just different frame connecting the front and the rear. There's all kinds of different bodies. Zincs seemed to be the favorites for a while, but Caldwells were huge in Formula V. But in the 70s, this was the largest grid at any SCCA event. And there was a time that every single driver on the Formula One grid had spent some time in a Formula V. Because if you can drive one of these quickly, you're going to be a very fast driver. Then another Formula V, new to him, but the guy that kind of puts this whole Formula V thing for the CVAR group and also these SVRA races, you can actually see his feet right there. Can you feel that, Elliot? That's a little weird, little cooling there. But this is the Barron of Barron Racing. That's his dad's car that his son is going to be racing in. But Elliot, explain this, because this is supposed to be fun.
Oh, it's a blast, Ben. I've raced all kinds of, well, not all kinds. I've raced several different types of race cars, and I keep coming back to these because the competition in them, the wheel-to-wheel racing, and the biggest part, I think, is the camaraderie between the Formula V drivers. If you're broken, we're there to fix it. Everybody helps each other. We all hang out together. We're all friends. It just makes it a blast, Nice.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you like racing in Mario Kart, why not come out here and race with us in Formula V? There are a lot of these still available. They're inexpensive. This is a great way to go racing, and everybody in this paddock will help you with your car. Uh-oh, you want to say something else?
And if you want to come try them out, get a hold of Barron Racing. We rent these cars. We do driver development programs, and we manage them for people. So come by and see us at the track.
Nice, I love it. Yeah, come by and see us at the track. Now we're going to come up to the front of the grid, if you don't mind. This is going to be a split start with the Formula 5s, the Formula Fords. They're going to take off. And then we're going to have a split start here. And Hunter, EO, they've promised us that this is going to be a good show. But this is the 722. Let me see here. That's Glenn Thielke, and that's Formula 5, which is 500. Then I was speaking to Steve Jondal earlier today. He's got the Eagle here. That is a 500cc Rotax snowmobile engine. And just by listening to his accent, I would say he knows a lot about snowmobiles. And he was saying even when he was racing, in the race season, he would put the engine in here, and then in the winter season, the off season from race season, he would put it back into his wife's snowmobile. So that's what he's got going on. He was telling me that it's a centrifugal clutch with just brake and gas. He doesn't have to shift gears, but these cars are really fun to watch, really quick. Then we come up here to the Formula Fords. We've got Mr. Yarborough here, Steve Yarborough, always number 76, because he owns a few 76 gas stations, getting his helmet on. But we can see it going out there, and this is what's kind of neat. So there's a radiator up here, up front in these Crossleys. Then this piece of pipe that almost looks like conduit coming all the way to the back into the engine, because these are water-cooled engines. And then on some of them, yeah, I'm not sure. The mechanical know which one's coming back and which one's going up. All right, so this one's going back with water, and then there's one over here going back into the radiator. So it's just very simple designs, very easy to work on. This is a really competitive, fun class. It basically, back in the 60s and 70s, it went from Formula V to Formula Fords to Formula Bs, as in boy, and then it was basically Formula 2, Formula 1. So that was kind of the ladder system back there. And we've seen a lot of the ladder system nowadays. But I want to point out Mr. Perner here. He's kind of new in the number 72. This is a Caldwell. Caldwells were one of the most famous Formula V production cars. But I want to point out this car here, the number 84. I want to get this right. This is Laura Romney, the New Orleans area. And this is an Autodynamics Mach 5 from 1968. Beautiful paint job, just a beautiful car. This car used to be pink. She and her husband painted it to match the Porsche Ruby colors, but she was just awarded the SVRA Spirit of This Event Award, meaning Rob, our tech inspector, loved the preparation of the car, just loved that it stayed to the year that it was. Everything is correct. She's driving it really well, so that's really cool. But one more thing I got to point out about these Formula Vs. This is your transmission linkage. The reason all these drivers have these cages back here, because the first couple of years, the other competitors would come up and bump you out of gear and then go around you. So everybody had to make these cages because there is a little bit of bump drafting that you're going to see happening in Formula V, especially with the drivers up front. This car here is a 63 form car. So this is the oldest car on the grid, the first year for Formula Vs, and it's a really, really cool car. You can see it says "When Pigs Fly." It's got a Porsche 356 cover, and then your air intake, a little bit of a trumpet with the dimples to make sure it's getting a lot of air. But this is going to be a really fun class. Let's come back to the next Formula 5 as these cars are getting in. I haven't seen any time on the grid just yet. But she's wearing the lucky pants. I love that. You can see the Rotax engine with the two-stroke, the big displacement chamber. And then Kimry here to your left is the other Formula Ford. I'm seeing that we're 1 minute on the grid. I can't wait for this race. This is my favorite group here at NOLA. I'm going to come up and join you up in the booth, Ralph. I'll be there in a second.
All right, Ben, looking forward to it. It is a cool group. It's going to be a lot of fun here at NOLA Motorsports Park. These guys put on guys and gals put on a tremendous show yesterday, and we expect more of the same here today. Our one category of Sports Car Vintage Racing Association action that we're going to have for you today live from here in NOLA Motorsports Park. So we are looking forward to getting this one underway. The Janetta safety car is in position and the field should be released. Looks like they're rolling out now. A lot of cool cars, lots of cool sounds. Well, a couple of things, Ben, I know you won't be late for. Late for lunch or dinner, and you won't be late for this race, because I know you love these guys.
I do. These are some of my closest friends in vintage racing. They've taught me a lot. I love the Formula V and the Formula Ford groups. But I'm new to these Formula 500s, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
I saw Formula 500s when I used to get to call SCCA road races back in the day when I was beginning my announcing career out at what then was known as Sears Point Raceway in Laguna Seca.
Yeah, then it was Infineon and then back to Sonoma, right?
At one point it was Golden State Raceway. I mean, it's been a wide variety of things, yes.
So I do believe they're going to do kind of what we call a self-imposed split start. So these front four, the Formula Fords and the Formula 500s, who are totally different ways but pretty equally yoked in lap times as we saw yesterday, and then the Formula Vs. But I did get heads up. I heard that the Formula Vs are going to put on an extra special show for us today.
Huh. What have they got in mind, you know?
I don't, but usually without even saying that, they put on a good show. But
yeah,
they said
yesterday was spectacular.
They said they're really going to mix it up. So we have changed this grid a little bit. Glenn Thielke is going to be in that top four from number 7, and then Hunter Barron is going to lead the way for the split start. But we talked to the gas man there. The number 76 is Steve Yarborough, who's been with us at every race so far this season.
Yeah, he's got a variety of things to play with. Lucky guy.
Yeah.
And he likes to bring them out and exercise them.
Yeah, which is what we want. You know, it's cool to go to car museums and things like that, but to actually see these cars out there working, it's going to be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the three Phillips are not going to be here. They had a schedule conflict.
Oh, that's
but Mario Munoz is here. And then I got some information from Justin Kimry. This is his second race weekend. He went to the SVRA school here, SVRA Corinthian Vintage Auto Racing Group out of Texas. They do an event at NOLA, Hallett, and Oklahoma, but a great vintage racing group. They did a school, and EO, who's also in the race, was his instructor. So that's the 87A there. This is only a second weekend, so we should see some good things from him too.
That's a really cool car, by the way.
Yeah, it looks
It's
great.
got a neat shape to it.
But this is going to be fun. So those are snowmobile Rotax two-stroke engines. You can see, what do they call that? The expansion chamber there for two strokes.
Mm-hmm.
And he is sitting really low.
And I know your Eagle's your favorite race car right there at the front.
I do like that car.
It's cool. Just like Dan Gurney's All-American Racers.
Yeah, he said it's actually a chicken hawk. He's from Minnesota, I think.
Okay.
Here they come to take the green.
Yarborough leading him off the final corner. Field is formed up, waiting on the green flag. And we're racing here at NOLA Motorsports Park. You'll see the second wave come into view shortly. Here they come.
But man, look at this, side by side coming into Cube 3, Turn 1. This is going to be an exciting day, ladies and gentlemen. The Formula V's, a bunch of Volkswagens out there.
And our second wave is underway. And it looks like it's going to be Hunter Barron and the 58 on the far inside that might have the early edge as Yarborough leads our first wave. I do like that sort of, I don't know if it's candy apple red or is it more of like a raspberry.
Yeah, it's kind of almost a maroon candy apple. It's
Yeah.
Simon Hughes now, the leader of Formula V.
Yep, Barron right behind him. Pair of Barons, right?
Yeah, Hunter and EO are both brothers. Longtime racers with Simon, but we already have we had a pass for the lead, and it was taken right back. And Elliott Barron, the father, behind them in his new car that he's just trying to shake out this weekend. He was telling me they just bought it and working on that, and it's really cool to see EO in Jim's car. Jim, a longtime racer with us.
And if you're looking to get into vintage car racing, these are some very affordable categories to enter, aren't they?
Not only affordable, but very easy to work on. The Formula V's are air-cooled, but the Formula Fords also, and the great thing about it is if you're new and you don't have a lot of mechanical ability, everybody in the paddock does. And everybody, you know, so you'll find your Formula Ford group or your Formula V group, and everybody will help you with whatever you need. Because they just want more people on the track with them.
What I've always noticed about the folks that compete in these categories, the F500s, Formula V, Formula Fords, they are extremely, extremely passionate about these categories. They're deep into the history. They know all about the different manufacturers. They really have a passion for it.
Oh, yeah, they do. But look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting quite a show. Hunter Barron out front. Now, you can see the slip angle on those bias ply tires just fighting to hang on.
You know, Yarborough in that 76 is a huge fan of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, one off here. Is
Mario
that the
Munoz.
33? Or 83?
Yeah, he's new to racing, Mario Munoz. He's doing really, really well. And this track, you just get one little thing wrong, it'll send you off. But he's coming into the pits.
Yeah, Yarborough has one of the deadhead stickers usually in the cockpit of the car. And
yeah, he's got on that car. He's got one on the rear of the car, the rear little transmission case thing. leaders in Formula V. Now it's EO Baron. So we've had about 4 lead changes, and another one.
Yep. Coming up on 18.5 minutes remaining. You know, the other thing about looking at these categories too, Ben, you watch them, and they're pretty safe race cars, but boy, you see how far we've come in safety in open wheel racing. Just, if nothing else, roll hoop heights, right?
That's 141. Donald Rajasingham from New Orleans. Beautiful car up close.
Have you owned one of these?
I haven't, no, and I haven't ever been behind the wheel of one of these. I have a lot of friends that race them.
They don't trust you?
I need to, well, I never have the time in my schedule, but yeah, honestly, what you said might be a little bit more realistic. But I need to come to the SVRA school here and let EO teach me how to race these things.
Yeah.
You can see that big bump out there. Here's the leaders in Formula V. What are you seeing here, Ron?
Well, I think, you know, you mentioned that all 3 of these cars are prepared by the Barons, right? So you can see not only are they very competent behind the wheel, they're very competent with a wrench in their hands as well. These cars are extremely equally well prepared.
Yeah, and to the rules, they kind of look at this almost like a spec class themselves, even though it's different bodies. And they try to get everything out there where it's a very good driver's class as Hunter ducks out from the draft into turn 1.
Look at that front suspension, how it's designed. It's so unique.
Yeah, it's just
so unique to today, but very common back then.
The torsion bars of the Volkswagen Beetles, and it's a great theory on how to build race cars, where you just can go to a junkyard, take the front and the rear end off of a car that back in the day there were hundreds of in junkyards, and make it into a race car however you want.
Yeah, thousands of them for nothing, right?
Yeah. So that's Hunter in the 58. EO is in the 114. That's Elliot O'Barron, Simon Hughes in the number 9, and these 3 went after it all day yesterday. You can see they even spec where they can put their GoPro cameras so that there's no draft advantage.
Look at this one here, the 401 in Millvid.
Yeah,
talk about the advances in safety, and you see the driver's compartment in that car, how low it is on the sides compared to today where they're enveloped in such a cocoon.
This is a good battle. This is what I love about vintage racing. The mid-pack battles are always really fun to mix.
You know,
it
it's
up.
one of my favorite parts of vintage car racing, not just the different looks, because there's such a wide variety of race cars, even in an individual category, but the sounds.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You get such a cool cacophony of sound, right?
For sure, yeah. I love the sounds. That was Kimry is doing a really good job for this just being his 2nd race weekend. To keep up with Yarborough and Jondal like that.
That one's almost a go-kart with a bigger body on it.
And it looks like it's an enduro kart where they just lay down. And his wife was at grid wearing her good luck checker flag pants. I like that. You can see struggling to rotate. Look at that big expansion chamber on there. So many different ways to make race cars back then.
Yes.
In different classes. So there's 4 classes in this one race.
And I think that was one of the things that really attracted fans years ago, is that you could go see the creativity of the different designers. And all those designs are basically drawn out on napkins, right? Not on CAD systems.
But Jondal really staying with Yarborough. Very accomplished driver in that. You can see his head shaking up and down in that Eagle. 800 pounds, 500 cc, 2-stroke snowmobile engine. There's Perner.
Love the look of that car. Looks like one of Colin Chapman's Team Lotus entries, right?
Yeah, that's a Caldwell. I'm sorry, no, that's an Caldwell D13. Yeah, sorry. I keep getting mixed up with those. Laura Romney is in the Auto Dynamics Mach 5.
We just saw her in that red 84.
But I think we've had about 7 lead changes in Formula V so far.
Yeah, those guys have really been mixing it up. So they were, they didn't lie to you about providing a show, did they?
No, I love it. Justin Kimry is in the Lola T540E from 1980.
That looks, I was going to say, like you said, 1980. It looks like the newest car in the field, doesn't it?
Yep. Now here is Elliott Barron in the number 14 of Barron Racing from Texas. He does a lot with SVRA in this group, but also SVRA. They're going to be with us out at Sonoma Laguna in a couple weeks. Look at that thing move around. You can see the bias ply Hoosier tires. The great thing about this class, not only is it inexpensive to run this class, probably the most inexpensive, but it's also one of the most competitive, but also you can go a whole season on the same set of tires.
Yeah. Whoa, watch out for the grass.
What are you doing, Hunter? Bump right there.
Yeah.
It's really distracting for the drivers.
Especially with the suspension on these cars, I'm sure it really wreaks havoc in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a purely physics, that torsion bar suspension from the Volkswagen Beetle's early German design. That, you know, that's 1930s technology that they were still running up until the 80s. I'm seeing a full course yellow out there.
Yep, with 12 minutes remaining in the race. Well, that's a shame.
That's okay, though. We're going to see what we do on a...
Stack them back up.
Let's see if they do a self-imposed split start restart here. But Simon Hughes right now has the best of it, up in the lead of these cars in Formula V.
Our Ginetta safety car is moving into position to pick up the field. Oh, there we go. Is that our incident right there, Ben?
Yeah, I think that's Milvid.
Yep, sure is.
Maybe rear suspension. You see that on the rear left wheel?
Well, it's anything but flat over there, too. So it's kind of hard to tell, right?
Yeah, we'll see. But that doesn't look super bad.
No.
Looks like he's going to be able to make the next race weekend.
Yeah, it looks like he just coasted to a stop. So the next race weekend for us is going to be at Sonoma Raceway, end of April. And we're going to see Trans Am out there, and we'll see TA2 as well. They both put on a great show. But we'll probably see a whole new cast of SVRA competitors from the West Coast. What can we look forward to?
You're going to love the Hoosier Tire 2.5 Challenge. Cars, B sedan from the Trans Am days in the 70s, like the John Morton era. And there's a ton of those. They usually bring between 20 and 30 of them, some great racing, but some very exotic vintage cars out west. Really well prepared. We've got the Trans Am Western Championship and National Championships out there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. International GT will be out there with us, but some fantastic vintage cars. There's usually a big group of the Formula Fords that join us, the Formula Ford Challenge out west.
And we should see most of those cars the very following weekend down at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun 2 weeks in a row. Next weekend, we're at Eagles Canyon Raceway in just outside of Dallas. And I think a few of these Formula Vs are going to be there as well, but we're not broadcasting that one. But that's still an event.
I was bummed about that. I had not had a chance to go there. I was looking forward to it.
It's a neat track. Our friend Sam LeCompte is one of the owners of the track, and they're trying to grow it. It's a cool track.
For the folks that are going out to watch and maybe are in the area, what can they expect?
We've got a great group of, there's going to be some vintage stock cars. I think the TA2 Club is going to be out there. SVRA, a full array of a lot of SVRA muscle cars are going to be at that one. So Yarborough will be at that one. So it should be a fun event. You can get tickets still at speedtour.net, as is for the Sonoma and Laguna Seca, the Mission Foods Laguna Seca. If you go to speedtour.net, you can get tickets. You can join our car show, or you can join us here in the comment section of YouTube on Speed Tour TV.
Will we have the historic stock cars on the West Coast as well?
Yeah, there are going to be some. I don't think we have their own group. There aren't enough, but there is a pretty big contingency of historic stock cars out there.
There's a lot of garages right there at Sonoma Raceway that I know a lot of stuff is stored at, and fun to just drive around through the garages and peek in the open doors, see what's in there. Of course, it for years is the home of Huffaker Racing and Joe Huffaker. Man, they built some incredible race cars out of that shop.
Yeah, some of my favorite MGs are Huffaker MG Midgets, MGBs, and they still have a shop, but now they're up on the hill at Sonoma.
Oh, of course, they competed in Trans Am as well.
So it looks like Simon is kind of doing a self-imposed split restart. Is Simon Hughes in that number 9? That's a very Lynx B, Formula V. The Lynx, just like anything, for a while they were the fastest in Formula V, so everybody had to go by the Lynx, you know, and that's just kind of the way that it goes. So the 114 is a Lynx B, also with a different nose. There's a Caldwell and Auto Dynamics in there. Mark LaBelle is in a Zinc Formula V, 1965. So they're towing Milvid in, so this should be our last lap under yellow behind the Ginetta. The one thing, you know, those Formula Vs are air-cooled, so they need to kind of maintain a certain speed. So hopefully they're going to speed up here, or else they can get hot quickly. There's Laura Romney, our Spirit of SVRA award winner. You can see the Crossley there of Yarborough just trying to keep heat in his tires, because he knows that Formula 500 right behind him is coming for him. You can see the mechanical suspensions bouncing up and down here as they come through.
Really working.
They do sit high off the ground, the Formula Vs. Looks like they could almost be Baja open wheel racers.
Yes. They also kind of make me think of what a Pinewood Derby car would look like if it was an actual race car.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Carved up in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, and
so if you haven't had the chance to come out here to NOLA Motorsports Park, it is a really neat place, just about 20 minutes outside of New Orleans. In fact, you can see New Orleans in the background facing the other way.
I haven't heard of one driver complain about this facility.
No, it's great.
They all love coming here.
The go-kart track, we've had a lot of fun on the go-kart track. There's a new putt-putt golf area that looks fantastic. We had a staff putt-putt golf tournament the other night. And
how did I miss that invite?
I did too. It was in our WhatsApp, but I miss it. But I was pretty tired, so I don't know if I would have gone. But it was a lot of fun. And so there's all kinds of things to do here. My wife would love coming here because of the food in New Orleans.
Yes.
You know, so there's a lot to do here. This is growing. Like I said, SVRA was just out here racing vintage cars just a couple of weeks ago. So if you're in the area, check out that group because it is just so much fun. But that is a beautiful car right there. So like I said, Corinthian Vintage Auto Racing Group. That is a club. I know that they race at Hallett Crescent, I believe. I think MSR Houston. I think NOLA. And I say Hallett. Yes. I'm missing one. But just another great vintage racing group. There's New Orleans and the Superdome there in the background.
Yeah.
What a cool view. The movie Focus with Will Smith and Margot Robbie was filmed out here. It's one of my wife's favorite movies.
Out here at NOLA?
Yeah, out here at NOLA.
I didn't know that.
Under the cover there, one of the premises of the movie is Will Smith is going to con an F1 team out of their data, but they don't call it F1, and instead of McLaren, it's like McGowan or something like that. But it's a really cool movie.
Back then, you would have to have sent Bernie a big check for that.
Yep. And then somebody else was saying there was an episode of NCIS New Orleans filmed out here.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I can see that.
But here they come to take the green again, Ralph Shaheen.
Getting close. Gonna have about 17 minutes to go in this one. Green flag wave, Steve Yarborough, first one there. So our first wave gets underway, and the second wave right behind him, and that green flag just stays out.
All right, here's the group. Simon Hughes out front. Elliot O'Barron right behind with Hunter Barron.
Yeah, boy, they get awful close to that edge over there, don't they?
Trying to use all the track, which is what they instruct. But now we have a group of 4 out front. Let's see, so that's Simon Hughes, Elliot O'Barron, Hunter Barron. Not sure who's right behind him. Looks like Rajessingham. So Donald Rajessingham in a beautiful car. So stay with him. From New Orleans, he's in a Lynx Formula V from 1969. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But look at this, now we've go 4, group of 4. I'm loving it.
Yeah, boy, they're getting after it. Then here's our lead group in the other category.
We need an eagle sound effect.
One around, the 84.
That's Laura Romney.
Yep. See if she can get going. Only 2.5 minutes remaining in this one, Ben.
All right, well that might get us.
Might be the end
this
of it.
should be the white flag lap, and then hopefully we get one more.
Yeah, hopefully she's far enough off that we can get racing here.
This is the group right here up front, and that eagle's desperately trying to take the overall.
Oh, the Chicken Hawk locked it up.
I actually reached for the brake pedal there, Ralph.
Huh.
Look at that. Coming around, let's see if he can get behind. The Ford should have a little bit more grunt down the straight as we see the white flag.
White flag is out. You know, the great thing about the F500, you could probably pick it up and throw it in the back of your pickup truck. Just like a cart. Yarborough, the Cube 3 architecture, turn 1, first car there. Everybody stays in line in that group.
Kimry doing a good job.
There's Barron. Meanwhile, the battle up front continues side by side here now with Hughes and Barron. Hughes in the 9, Barron in the 58. And Barron's going to lead him down into Cube 3 architecture turn number 1. Hunter Barron. Here comes the attempt up the inside. Got the door shut on him. Jondal couldn't get it in there.
He is trying, though.
Without a doubt. And it looks like Kimry's actually closed up a little bit from 3rd.
Great shot there with both front groups in the same shot.
Kimry's looking awful racy here at the end.
He is. Great job for his second weekend. I guess you need to go to that SVRA school.
It's
to
paying
teach us some
off.
good skills. What is going to happen here? Can Jondal get around Kimry?
This is where Jondal made up a lot of ground on the last lap. They're going to be slipping and sliding through these S's. Barron continuing to lead. Hughes right behind him. Here's the lead group.
This is where he wanted it.
Yeah, not close enough this time, but he's thinking about it again. Still not there. Again, lock up. Oh, now he's going to try the outside. Jondal pushing hard in the F500. Is he going to run out of room? Yarborough trying to protect the lead, does a great job and had just enough room to come back across. But Jondal has to be careful too because Kimry's right there from 3rd. Here we come to the line. Yarborough, you can see the horsepower pulling away. And Steve Yarborough is going to take the win here at NOLA in race number 2.
Wow, what a race, though.
As he doubles up.
Uh-oh.
And here's this group with Barron out in front. Hughes sitting in 2nd. And then Barron behind that. And it looks like as we get to the line, we'll wait for timing and scoring because we can't see from this angle. Give it to Hughes.
Oh,
Hughes takes the win in the 9. Barron in the 58 comes home in 2nd. That's Hunter Barron. And the other Barron car, the 114 of E.O. Barron, gets 3rd.
Now, they
That
said
was some
they'd
good
put on a
racing.
show, and they put on a show.
They sure did.
That was awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a lot of fun in all the groups. So we had some great Formula Ford, some great F5, 500, and that front group of four, they came across the line in about the same second. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They were all in the same second, and then same thing with the first three in Formula V. Unbelievable.
Separated by just hundredths between first and second, and then tenths to third.
Well, we promised you this wouldn't disappoint. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to start racing, this is a great place. Formula V, Formula Ford, with SVRA or any of the other great vintage auto racing clubs out there. Get started, go to one of the schools, and you are going to have a great time. Everybody in the paddock will help you out wherever you need help. And if you want to race Formula V, look to Barron Racing. They have a few cars available to rent, and they are very affordable.
Gonna be some happy guys in that group.
Yeah. Well, what a great way to close out the weekend with this SVRA group here, Ralph.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of racing you hope for and look for and get with SVRA. Great cars, good drivers, close competition.
Yeah, in totally different ways.
Yes.
Like that Formula 5 and that Formula Ford could not be more different, but yet they're putting down very competitive lap times.
And they're all headed for pit lane.
The gas man, Steve Yarborough, Jondal, Kimry, and Glenn Dielke. KBS Mark V. I like the story where he was just taking the engine out of his snowmobile, putting it in his race car, putting it back in his wife's snowmobile for a couple of seasons. Up there, I think they call them snow machines.
Yeah. And they also call it their daily driver, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to head down to the winner's circle, Ralph. If
All
you'll
right, Ben.
take us away.
Let's go here from the winner, who should be there about the same time you get there. Yarborough's about to make the left turn. All right, well, while we wait for the cars to get to the winner's circle, we're going to go ahead and take care of some business. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Architecture is about everything. We change the environment. We are changing how people live in the environment today.
So we basically put our fingerprint on the future of what the United States looks like. My overall business philosophy is that I'm engaged with my company from top to bottom, and I think the racing world and helping out the next generation and younger drivers is a passion of mine, and it's getting stronger and stronger every year. With that, that's why I want to be involved.
Victory podium. Looks like Ben's already down there. I'll be getting ready to go here in just a second. Drivers will start unbuckling and crawling out of their cars.
There's the kill switch. All right, this is always fun because this is a mess of race cars here. I love it. We always like to invite all the Group 2s and Formula Vs here to the podium because they like to party. They like to have a good time. So much fun. These are like some of my favorite race cars because it's simple. 4 tires, engine in the back. We've got 3 different race groups here, right, Michelle? We have our 4 F5s that are here, the two F5s. That's our, I believe, the 87 here and the 76 are those. And then the other group is 722 that have some interesting engines in them. Where's my driver? Workers. Smoking is okay. It's all right. They're not oiling.
If they don't smoke, it's going to stop.
We like that too. All right, we'll get everybody up here in just a second. And the 722 here, is this Glenn or Glenn? Glad to see you back. Thank you for making it here to the podium. How was your race out there?
That was great. The full course yellow made up for my oops. We had a 4-place battle for the lead there in the last corner. I couldn't quite get it.
It was looking good. Let's good. We'll get you up on the podium. In fact, Steve, why don't we get you guys up first? Steve and Glenn will come up here first. This is our Group 2. Folks, come on up here. And I'm guessing Glenn was P2, Michelle? P2 today. We'll put you P2 here. You'll get a silver medal for that, a red SVRA podium hat. If you see these in the podium, in the paddock, you know that these drivers were at our podium. You're also going to get $75 from Hawk Performance. Those are our podium sponsors here for the Sunday race, Hawk Performance. All right, Steve, go ahead and get up there, P1. Anybody else you'd like to thank there, Glenn?
Yeah, we really want to take the opportunity to thank the SVRA for inviting us to this event. We set a good example and look for a promising future. It was a lot of fun.
Excellent. Bring your friends, right? I'm sure there's more than 2 of these out there somewhere, right? Steve, SVRA put this on this weekend for here at Nolan's. How was your weekend?
Oh, the weekend is fabulous. I'm glad they invited us. Like I said, I hope they invite us back. We had a great time, great racing, and we got out of the cold back home, so it's nice down here.
So, folks you'd like to thank? Anybody back in Wisconsin?
Well, my wife is here. My daughter's back there. She's taking care of all the animals while we're gone. And like I said, SVRA, we're really, really happy that they invited us. And we hope that we can come back somewhere.
Excellent, excellent. All right, we'll let you get some photos here. Say hi to those folks out at the live stream. All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We're going to now talk to our other Group 2 folks here. Let's bring up Justin Kimray? Justin, is that right? Justin Kimray? You're in P2 here. So we separated these 2 cars out a little bit from the Formula Vs. Is that they got a little bit more horsepower going on there?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're about 105 or so, 110.
Okay. So, folks you'd like to thank before we put you up on the podium?
Oh, man. SVRA for having us out here at NOLA. This is my home track, so it's a short drive for me, so I love coming out here. So please come back. You know, the logistics is great for me, so.
Excellent. We'll put you up here P2 today. Joining Justin is Steve Yarborough. Steve, come up here. We'll get you over here. I'll get on this side over here. We'll talk to you real quick while we get your hardware. How was your race out there today?
That was exciting. I had that little white car with the eagle staring me down the whole time. I had a mirror full of that little car. Yeah. And every time so I just kind of would take it a little easier because I didn't want to open a door for him. So he did a great job. Steve did a great job. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun, Thanking my crew chief, Dave Asher, and my wife for letting me have all this fun. And, of course, SVRA for all the wonderful tracks they put us on.
Excellent. Michelle has your hardware there, a gold medal and a Hawk Performance certificate. We'll get you up here for a photo, and the live stream, you can wave to your friends back. Where's home for you guys? Reno, Nevada? Louisiana, right here local. Excellent. Thank you very much for racing with us this weekend. We're going to now bring up our Formula V podium. We've got E.O. Barron coming in third. Wait a minute, again for the second day in a row, Elliot. A little slippery out there today than it was yesterday.
It was a lot more greasy out there today than yesterday, so I had a lot of trouble keeping the rear of the car planted, especially in the last few turns, slow speed sections. So Hunter and Simon both gapped me a little bit there, and I had to find a way to get in front of him for a little bit of the race, but unfortunately towards the end, when all three of us are stuck right there like that, all I could do is kind of just hang on through the last few turns and watch them drag to the line.
It was a good race, always with the Formula Vs. Do you have a plan on your next stop?
Well, first, Ben interviewed me before the race and talked about, beards make people fast, but I need to get rid of some weight, apparently, to speed up at this point. So next time you see me, I won't have any more facial hair.
All right, next stop is the barbershop for EO. Let's put you up. Elliot Barron in third place, joining Elliot on the podium today. His brother today, Hunter Barron. Come here, Hunter. I think he's up there. Hunter, all right, P2 today. You were top yesterday. Tell us about your race.
Well, I think Simon had been planning all along, all of yesterday, on how to win today's race. So props to him, and he nailed the last turn.
He failed. You fell into his trap, apparently.
I fell into the trap.
All right. Anyone else you'd like to thank before we put you P2?
All of Barron Racing and SVRA and all the workers, yep.
Excellent. We'll put you up there P2 today. We'll get our friends here on P1. P1 today, P2 yesterday. Simon Hughes, get up here, Simon. Well done today. So so Hunter was saying that you had planned all last night and into the early hours this morning about how you were going to do it. Did the plan work out for you?
Redemption day today, so.
So tell us about how you set them up a little bit coming.
I think it was really the full course caution that helped us set it up, because I was leading it when the green flag fell, so it just gave me a bit of a lead, and then let him lead through the S's, and I was like, okay, well, we can try and overtake, but it's just easier to stay behind and come out the last turn and hopefully draft out and take it. So that's what happened.
So, folks you'd like to thank before we put you up P1 today?
Yep, whole of Barron Racing, especially Hunter, he prepares my car. Elliot, he kind of looks after the mental side, so there you go.
Excellent, very well. We'll put you up, Simon, P1, and we've heard about Elliot Racing, or Barron's Racing, the Papa Bear of Barron's Racing, right here with us. Elliot, how was your weekend? You were out there racing, which is a great thing. I haven't seen you out recently, so how does it feel to be back in a race car?
It was awesome. We're, shaking down a new car, and the boys really busted their butts and got it working pretty good for me. We fought some issues, but I had some great races and had a ball. Great weekend.
Well, great, and we love that you help all these Formula Vs come out here and race with us as well. We'll say goodbye to our folks in the live stream with our photo here. Let's hear it, Formula Vs, Elliot Barron, Hunter Barron, and Simon Hughes.
Celebration is complete, as are our broadcasts from here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Well, the series is going to move on to Eagle Canyon Raceway, and we will see you with our television broadcasts coming up end of April, the 24th through the 27th, from Sonoma Raceway. You can catch all the live action with the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli and the rest on Speed Sport 1. So stay tuned for that coming up in April. For Ben Sissel and our entire crew with the folks over at Live Race Services, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from NOLA.
get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Yes. Hon, the WeatherTech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Hawk Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics into every product. Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsports experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose pads that are race-proven and street legal. Find the Hawk Performance brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
How good is this? Look at this view from Laissez.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn, 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the VBox HD2 system.
Said. One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zone, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green. We are back and at it. Watch this. Oh, look out, Miller, look out.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, all for less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Architecture is about everything. We change the environment. We are changing how people live in the environment today. So we basically put our fingerprint on the future of what the United States looks like. My overall business philosophy is that I'm engaged with my company from top to bottom. And I think the racing world and helping out the next generation and younger drivers is a passion of mine, and it's getting stronger and stronger every year. With that, that's why I want to be involved.